Let's talk about why it's not always easy to rejoice in the Lord on this week's 3-Minute Theology Thursday. We love to rejoice, to celebrate everything and anything that's worth celebrating. Birthdays, anniversaries, a friend's promotion, our team wins the Super Bowl, a new episode of Doctor Who comes out. We love to celebrate things. We get joy from it. So it's only natural that God's people are encouraged throughout the scriptures to rejoice in the Lord, to get joy from who God is and what God is doing in their lives. Not everyone, believers included, get the kind of joy from Jesus that we get out of our accomplishments, a Stanley Cup, or seeing the new Doctor in action. It's not easy to rejoice in the Lord. Maybe we're going through some tough stuff and we don't feel like rejoicing, or we try to read the Bible, especially the stories of Jesus. But it's hard for us to see them as anything more than just words on a page. We don't always know how to rejoice in Jesus, or why who he is, or what he does matters in our daily life. But we can train ourselves to, because rejoicing is a choice. We choose what we derive our joy from and what things we will celebrate. The trouble is we are too easily satisfied. We settle for the smaller joys, the ones that provide us more immediate gratification. And we have conditioned ourselves to believe that those small joys are the only ones that really matter. Now, I'm not saying that these smaller joys aren't worth celebrating. It's just that we were created and saved to know a greater joy than any of these things can provide. All of those smaller joys are one-sided. They're not reciprocal. The Flyers don't care if I'm excited that they won a game. The doctor doesn't care how much I enjoy his show. But when we choose to rejoice in Jesus Christ, God rejoices with us. And we feel a joy that doesn't just come from our tickled fancies, but from God himself. So how do we rejoice in the Lord in ways that are sincere? It takes work. It takes work to learn what is praiseworthy about Jesus, not just to learn it as stories in a book, but to learn it as something we know for ourselves, to know him as God revealed to us, to know the forgiveness and the love that we have in him, to know that restored relationship with God he saved us for. So we condition ourselves to see his hand at work in the situations that we're enduring, to look for God's love in every place it can be found, even when things don't go our way. And that's more work. It takes work to let go of the limits we place on God, of the I will praise you as long as I get my way kind of mentality. Because that mentality never leads us to praise God, only blame God. But when we approach the person and promises and stories of Jesus, when we approach the scriptures and our prayer life and life itself, asking where and how is God at work in this, and how is he at work in me, then we'll start to find more and more reasons to rejoice, because then God will open our eyes to see his activity in the world and in us. And one of the best ways we can do that is to surround ourselves with people who are also looking to see the hand of God at work in their lives. As we share our stories of what God is doing, it helps open us up to new ways of seeing God at work that we might not have recognized on our own. And the more that we realize that, the more his joy will be in us, regardless of our situations. So tell me, what is it that encourages you to rejoice in the Lord? Or what hinders you? Let me know in the comments below. This has been Daily Vlog number 205. 160 to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow.